You make the motion to approve today's agenda.
Second it.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Make the motion to approve minutes
You?
from August 26th.
No second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Claims. Total claims, $259,635.28. Look for motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve claims from September 2nd.
No second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meetings attended, Scott?
Had a 911 meeting last week. The main thing there was they found out the recording system is not compatible with the new ESIC radio system that they're installing. So they're gonna have to get a new recorder system, but on the other hand, I guess the system they've got is outdated and it's at the end of its life. But it's only 8 years old, but it's at the end of its life. That it's Windows based and you can't get updates for it either anyway, so. He didn't have any numbers on that yet, but that was the main part of the meeting. And so then. So we had an issue at the transfer station, where you back the truck down, there's a small pit. And the lifts are broke off the concrete, won't hold the grate, and the existing pit, you can't even get a spade in. I don't know who built it, but the lip was only, if it was even an inch to hold the grate, so you can't really fix it. So I took a cement guy that was doing some work for me, Daniel Hay, out to look at it. And he's supposed to get me a bid on that to take it out and put about a 10-inch one with a 2-inch lip and a heavier grate so it won't bounce out. And while I was doing that, I took him over to the courthouse and showed him the little coal chute and he thought if they just went in there and kind of cut that steel, the expansion joint out, he said they got some pretty good sealant caulk. And he said probably a couple hours labor, 2 tubes of caulk.
Give it a shot. I mean, I was on that.
So he said he wouldn't probably get to that until after the busy season got up. So do you want me to tell him to go ahead?
Go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. And you know, yeah, that was pretty much it.
Kevin?
I had a slow week last week.
We can all take them once in a while. I had an ambulance meeting. When was that? Wednesday, Thursday? Kind of talked about financials. It was pretty much business as usual. The night kind of focused around, the money that each department is spending. And, it was actually brought up by, Warren County, Home Junction, that maybe they needed to go back to I don't know, set amount. Like they were when we first started, not turning all their expenses in. They wanted to self-police themselves and say, we're gonna get by with this amount of money and then they wanna keep all the rest in that account so that they can pay for their big expenses, their ambulances, their defibrillators, all that kind of stuff. And I kind of been beating this drum for the last year. We're a year in now about easy, slow down, let's not spend all the money. And now that they got a year under their belt, they kind of see what I'm trying to say. So I thought that was very nice that they were cognizant of what was going on and the expenses involved in buying these rigs. So there was no formal plan, but I told them, I said, the group set the rules initially. If you want the rules changed, then you guys have to set the rules to change yourselves.
We'll have to check with the auditors on that.
Is that?
We'll have to check with the state or with the audit. Something like that.
It's not that the expenses themselves, they'll just assume some of the expenses themselves. instead of turning them all in.
Okay,
So,
as long as we're getting received.
yeah, right. So they're gonna, I think, go back to their, not the original amount. I think they were talking like $70,000 a year for Wapello and Columbus Junction and Morning Sun was gonna get 60 or 55 or something like that. So we'll see. They're gonna kick it around, and then in December, when we have our year-end meeting, they may make a change, so. I thought that was positive. I met with Minnis, heating and cooling. Kind of the year-end thing on the complex. We went over 3 invoices. Kind of the problems that they had throughout the year, and there's some units that have some age on them that are working. But we're gonna keep our eye on those pretty close. Some work that had been done previously that really was kind of cobbled up. I don't know who or why they did it, but that's been repaired. So yeah, about every 6 months, we sit down and go over things and kind of keep our thumb on stuff, so that was a good meeting with him. Other than that, I didn't have anything else. Public input? You gonna address the board? No? Don't think we had any payroll changes. Next thing on the list is Sunny Acres subdivision. We went ahead and approved that at the last meeting, but we didn't have a resolution number. So this is kind of backing up and taking care of some.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 202-541 Sunny Acre subdivision.
Thank you.
No second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Needs already found those.
Yeah, it's already fine. That's just a
Okay.
copy of the, I have to sign it and I have to.
There's one on the very, do I need that one?
No.
Okay.
Already signed.
All right, very good. Perfect timing.
Increase.
Mr. Parsons,
Yeah,
opioid settlement.
yes, so you're all aware that the board had approved several settlements previously. The previous authorization may cover this one as well, but I wanted to err on the side of caution. A company called Purdue Pharma has agreed to settle as part of their bankruptcy plan. The company's going out of business, so I just need a motion to approve our participation in that settlement.
I'd look for a motion to enter into, or participate in the opioid settlement for Purdue Pharmacy, is that right?
Purdue Pharma.
Pharma, thank you.
I'll make that motion.
No second.
Any further discussion? Any idea what the settlement amount is at this point?
7.4 million, but it depends on how many.
Let's hear how our budget. For a month or two, probably.
Unfortunately, it's very restricted.
Yeah.
Uses of it, and yeah, we don't know how many class participants there are going to be there, but
Okay.
depends on how many ways it gets divided.
All right. Anybody else? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, all right, thanks. You're welcome, thank you. Adam, you're number 10.
Can't use. Have a bunch of things.
Yeah, do that.
Let's jump through the permits. If we can get that.
All right.
done. So it's pretty straightforward.
So, permit for number 12 would be the application for 83rd Street, H Avenue.
Okay.
H Avenue. Right. Eastern Island Power.
You guys have a copy of that one?
Nope.
Okay, so, I know.
You usually bring copies.
Oh, right here. It was me. This is out, east of town here, there's, some Kemper property there. The end of the dead end gravel road, and they're looking to build a house out there, so. Looks good to me, they are getting property, resurveyed to figure out where the end of where exactly the lines are on Beacon are in the world, so. Working on that, and so. Everything is fine there for me, so.
We'll take it in your house.
Yep.
You guys wanna look at it, you can, otherwise I look for a motion for approval for Eastern Iowa Light and Power Cooperative. The board duct across 83rd Street to H Avenue.
I'll make such motion.
I'll second
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, amend that over.
Nah, I know what's on.
And if you can open it and sign it.
The next one on the list is Windstream. Looks like fiber along Russell Street, Willow Street and Kings Highway. That sounds like Oakville.
Yep, this is Oakville East and the north, up the lanes is there, I believe it's the first house. On that one, again, this is standard fiber install, nothing special there, so. I did have a powwow with them last week to, ask them to. Essentially put their, yeah. There is this the right same now. Oh, okay, then. Sorry, never mind, I was looking at the wrong one or something. Yeah, this is out to, Hawkeye Woodson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So that's going down, it's basically 99, there's Oakville going down 90 around the curve.
yeah.
I'd look for a motion for approval on project 40039, Windstream, Iowa Communications.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the last, no, not the last.
Two more.
Project 34227, Windstream K Road, H22 from Highway 61 to 123rd Avenue.
Yeah, this one was, given me back in April, it's questions about the potential conflicts with the DOT overpass there, because they're going along the K road, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna permit when they're building a bridge there, so they've gone through and done what they needed to do on that end of it, so I'm okay with it, no, so.
Okay. No map on this one too.
Yeah. This is K road and then heading back north, so. Kind of that build that came off of Waffle and went south, and some of it's gone east, and now we're further east.
Yeah.
Well, so.
I look for a motion for approval on project 34227.
I'll make such motion.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Last but not least,
This is the one to Lance's east of Oakville that I was mentioning earlier, so.
okay.
Yeah, so basically, we're getting, build outs from Wapello south and west and east, and I've got a bunch of the Grandview and Lentz, southwest, east, north, and now this is the Oakville portion as well, so.
Look for motion for approval on Windstream Iowa Communications Project 713252264.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, let's hear your annual
Okay.
report.
So, every, beginning of every fiscal year, the engineer is supposed to do an annual report to the Iowa DOT explaining how explaining that were funded properly by the county and we spent our money properly and all that, so, that's been done. It's kind of hard to read and doesn't make a lot of sense. I am gonna note that, I did get a slap on the wrist because the tank car project that we did, out by Hewitt's, we're supposed to keep it under 115,000. Above that, it has to be bid out. I did bid out the tank cars, but, our price was 125,000, so may get a little slap or a warning on that, don't do that again, so anyway, it got a little aggressive, trying to save us some money here. Worked out fine, but, so here's the financial report, is essentially, I don't know if it's financial report, because we are government here, but what I'm gonna call it, so. Here's all. Okay. So, on the chart here, on this one with all the colors, I show what our budgeted expenses were and our budgeted income was, and our actual expenses and net financial income. I got one for you. Okay, this. Okay, this might be. So, at the beginning of the year, last year during budget season, so this would have been 2020. December, January 24, we had our 2025 budget. And, I expected, incomes of 4.65 million. We ended up with about 4.97 million, so we received about 318,000 more than expected. Some of that is reimbursements, you know, we did the detour up on X-17 and all that, and the DOT paid us 72,000 to use that detour. Now, that's gonna get spent this next year and patching and things like that. We got reimbursed for the dust control and things like that, so we're up a little bit more of about 84,000 more than expected in miscellaneous funding. Our county transfer is right, what it was expected to be. And then our road use taxes, we actually received about 220,000 more than expected. So again, the DOT gives us an estimate in like November. And then a year and a half later, it just happens to be more than expected, so that's good news, right? Expenses, so we budgeted expense 4.45 million. I'm sorry, our budget was 4.8 million, our total expense was 4.45 million, so we're about 350,000 less spent than what was budgeted. So that's about 92.6% of our budget was spent. And you can look at the various things there on the right, you know, construction was was estimated at budgeted, sorry, at 200,000 and we only spent 150. Equipment and grounds was right at the number that we budgeted, so 1.2 million. Road maintenance was under, it was about 280,000 under, and a lot of that is less, what am I trying to say here? Less sand and salt than expected, and some other things were just under budget there. And then admin and engineers is about 23,000 under budget, so. I guess big picture, right? We started the fiscal year with the audited balance of 4.115 million. We ended with a balance of 4.626 million, so our actual net was 518,000. So we put 518,000 back into the auditor's balance. That's good, right? But you know, this year I think we're gonna, overspend by 400,000, which that probably won't happen, but you know. We have some projects we're doing, next budgetary year is gonna be a big year, we're gonna spend, part of that money, repaving Oakville and some other projects, so basically, underspend a couple years and we're spend the next few years and it balances out, so. The big chart graph here is kind of showing, how things were, the black dash line is the auditor's balance, and you can see it goes up and down every other year or so, and depending on how things go. Looking in the past, back in 2021, we spent a lot of money, about $1 million on flood recovery, so that kind of shows, when we have floods, we spend a lot more then. So. Anyway, any questions about this or anything going on? So
What's the red line?
the red line on the bottom is construction, is locally funded construction. So 19, 20, and 21, we had some pretty big construction years. Since then, we've been down, after the budget thing last year and the year before, I kind of cut back on construction. I was a little bit worried about some things. We also lost an employee, so that did give us some more ability to spend. So I think in the future, we are going to be a little more aggressive with that construction projects.
When did we do the bridge here in town?
We did that, let me think, what year was that? Yeah, I started engineer in July of 20, and we were finishing up at that year, so 19 and 20, so. And anyway, I think we're doing okay, with it. I often wonder, well, are we not spending enough, or are we not buying enough rock or buying enough equipment or whatever, and I think we're doing okay on that end too, so.
It was like putting money away for a rainy day.
Yeah, well, I think paving down in Oakville is gonna be about 250,000 down there, and that'll be in 2027. The overlay, 99, right, is gonna tap out most of our farm to market funds, so may have to throw in a little bit of local into that as well, so just, it's gonna go, but it's fine, so.
Yeah.
And we've been fairly lucky, we haven't had any building, damages, we haven't had any equipment blow up on us, so.
Haven't had any real bad winters.
Right, no, I'm a little worried about this one, coming up, it's just been wet all summer, and the river's been high, looking like cold, but. Guess we'll find out in March, right?
Yeah, I think that system and be fun.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my report there.
Yeah.
Other things going on, the hoop shed is done, the concrete had been done a month ago, and we had our contractor show up last week, and he worked all through the week, and it's up and running, up and ready to go anyway. I have been reaching out to suppliers for salt. We're gonna get that filled up and ready to go, and again, we're taking all of the sand and salt that used to sit in the ground out there, and it's all gonna be in the shed. So if we use it, we have it. If we don't use it, we have it for next year, so. That's good there, so. Got that done, did make a couple more equipment purchases. We had about $64,000 left in our equipment budget for the year. Ended up buying a mulcher head for the skid loader. And we also bought a batwing mower for mowing ditches, so. I assume those will come over the next few weeks or a month, so. Other than that, the guys are out patching up on X-17. Using our crews. The rest guys are out mowing and rocking and blading and all those kind of things, so.
We have some equipment, in limbo here. We have something getting a bed or something still or not?
A bed or a bit.
Our spray rig, is that up?
Yeah, so when we bought it, it was, the lights were done. When we put on I think we put in some more lights and something like that, and when we drove into it, we drove through the wire, so we did the text, yeah. So,
So is it getting repaired?
no, it's done,
Oh,
all right, yeah, so.
I thought we had a truck out though that was getting a bed or something on it. Oh? Did we
No,
have that?
no, that's all been done,
Okay.
so, yep, everything that we've ordered already is
Okay.
done, so.
Right.
So, yeah, no. So. Mike and Justin have been out spraying brush, they sprayed from the Iowa River all the way up north, excuse me. And what do you know? So, so they are gonna finish up spraying today and then do another quick run through tomorrow, just to see if anything's been missed. So they're done with their brush spraying this week, and then they're gonna get working back on some engineering work. Probably getting some asphalt paving, in a couple weeks, so anyway, we're busy with that. I am doing interviews this week for the assistant maintenance superintendent. Had 4 applicants there, and we'll do interviews today and tomorrow and get that figured out. Most likely that person will be the next maintenance superintendent when Terry retires in April or so.
I read where one of our Iowa counties got in trouble for burning a bunch of stuff.
Well,
See that?
wasn't us, so.
Yeah.
Well, the public likes to throw tires in the road ditches, and it is an expense. I think we just, in the end of last fiscal year, June, we paid an outfit from Chicago to come in and take 3 or 4 tons of tires off our hands, so it's. Maybe in the past, we used to burn them, but we don't burn them anymore, so.
Got a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so. Anyway. Stay busy.
Anything else for Adam?
I don't think so.
I have a question.
Yes,
Does the
sir.
DOT have plans to redo Highway 92 from Columbus Junction to 61?
Not that I know of. I know they are focused on getting the western portion of that done, and that's probably gonna be end of October, beginning of November or so. And then they're, working on 61. I would prefer that they do an overlay east of Columbus, because it's bad. It is bad, so, but
They don't have any plans on.
not that I know of anyway, so,
It's going through cutting the high spots off a week or so ago.
okay,
They were taking the heaves out of it.
yeah.
At least it doesn't have curbs and gutters anymore. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's not good, so. Hey, it makes our roads look better.
So your road use tax, is that much of a moving target, or is it based
Yeah.
on the state's revenue?
So the road use tax is diesel and gas sales. It's also vehicle registrations and car sales, and I think they're usually pretty conservative with how they estimate, I guess a good thing for road use tax spending agencies is the cost of vehicles is up, right? So it raises all that up a bit, so. Yeah.
It always seems to come in a little more than what they
Yeah.
got forecasted.
Yeah, so, every year I budget on the numbers that I'm told, right? So if things are better, we're better off versus coming back, oh crap, there's nothing there, you know what I'm saying, so. Yeah, and if you guys have a chance to look after this green is the road use tax dollars. 2021, there was a pretty good jump because there was some COVID, money given to states for that. Went back down in 22, but next year's it just kind of goes up, so. So yeah, about 2/3 of our funding is through road use tax and only a third is through property taxes, so.
So the money you was talking about, the 4.5 million and 4.9 million.
Yeah.
Does that include the local option sales tax?
This year, right, the board is gonna help us out with that, so, yeah, so that would include about 125,000 of local option sales tax.
Cause you used that up at Grandview on that intersection, correct?
Well,
Part of it, anyway.
the intention was to, but then we overspent and it was actually COVID money. So. That I didn't know about that until after the fact, so.
What does the DOT expect you to do when you, like that tank car property you were talking about out by Hewlett's, it went over what they expect? I mean, what do they expect you to do? Not do it?
They would expect me to estimate it a little bit closer next time. The reason it was over, we got in a crunch where we couldn't get the tank cars. They used to be 18,000, all of a sudden they're 28,000, and they don't have them, so we had to use like a rolled steel one, so. Yeah, I'll do better next time. I'm still glad we did it. So this is the thing that basically it keeps us from doing a lot of in-house work, because then we're taking it away from contractors, so.
Well, I think you do a very good job handling money, Adam, and it's too bad you can't get a bonus.
Yeah. We'll cover that, and thanks for that contract, guys, so.
Come up, I'll meet your free ice cream cone.
Well, there you go.
Well, you do a good job handling the money.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else sees that, but
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Well, we're fortunate to have a good board and good workers, and have been lucky that we haven't been flooded out yet. You know what I'm saying? Because a bad year would eat up a lot of that really quick.
Talk about floods or.
Well, in 19, right, we spend, actually fiscal took 20, we spent about 900 some thousand dollars in flood repairs. We got about 650,000 of that back through grants, but
Yeah.
a lot of work to get that done, so. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to item number 16. We went ahead and approved this at the last meeting for 25.5. The wheels of government moved slowly enough that by the time we approved it, that car was sold. They're done making 2025s and they're now gearing up to make 2026s. Because we're in September now. There is a pretty good price hike from the 2025 to the 2026s. Lynn Meinster has been doing a lot of this work for me on this. They did happen to find another 2025. It happens to have one extra option on it. I don't know what that option is, but the price is 26,310 instead of 25,500. I didn't see it was a big deal, however, the board approved 25,500, and I need to bring it back up to the board to get it reapproved, so we're doing it the right way. So I need approval for 26-3 for this new car that they already have locked in, so this won't happen again. And, we can move forward with that vehicle for public health.
I'll make a motion to approve the increase to 26,310 for the new vehicle.
I'll say.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Lynn did say that the invoice should be coming today,
Okay, thank you.
so I'll make sure you get it if I get it.
Okay.
Okay, number 17 is resolution 202542, which is the business officer resolution. It lists the 3 individuals in the courthouse that do business: Beth Harden, Susan Steinler, and Tammy Hayes. There's pictures.
Basically, the credit card, they need for us to be able to do anything, they need authorization for us. Showing with the officers.
The only question that I have is there checks and balance put in place? It says here that either one of them can make a change to this TMC bank reserve. Is there a check that say if Beth wants to make a change that somebody else needs to look it over before that? You know what I'm trying to
I
say?
know what you're saying, but all the bills get paid through us. So basically, any
that-
receipts, it kind of,
That's the check.
that's the check.
And then we approve those bills. So,
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Double check that we didn't
Appreciate
have
it. Yep.
somebody, not that I suspect that, but running amok and doing what they want, so. It has happened.
Yeah.
You see that in other towns, and you see it on the news, so.
Yep.
With that, I guess I would look for a motion for approval of resolution 202542.
I'll make such a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay.
Okay.
18, discussion of possible action to approve HIPAA Express Services. That sounds official.
Mhm.
Sounds like a credit card. So this is a company, you want to take this? You kind of did the legwork on it, so.
This is a company that will come in and help us create the privacy risk assessment and security risk assessment and policies, put policies in place because they haven't been updated for a while. So this will help the county be back in compliance. The estimate they have there is going to be also includes training for all employees, because regardless if they deal with health insurance documents or not, all employees are required, to have the HIPAA training. So this would include training and stuff for that too. So,
It looks like the total is $5,181.
yes,
And then ISAC gives us a credit because we're going through it of $14.58,
actually,
which,
it'll be Isaac is gonna be no longer doing it. So it's a credit that Karash is giving us, to leave Isaac and go with Karash.
which gives us a total of $3,722. This kind of got swept under the rug. We should have been doing this for quite a while. We can do it internally, but got a lot of other things that we need to do. And to make sure it's being done correctly in this day and age of everybody wants to sue everybody for a hangnail. No? You guys have any questions about it?
No,
If not, I guess I would look for a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion that we go with HIPAA Express Services.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Don't see where to sign this stuff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There's a line here, but I don't. Just need this, sounds like that to be in there somehow. Let me see. You do it all out.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of our agenda unless somebody wants to add something.
The HR guy wouldn't be doing this compliance stuff?
Not necessarily the headphones.
No, and we've got some other things with the HR guy that we want to address with him, I think, coming up, so. That's all.
Did you take a vote on that?
Hmm?
Did you take a vote on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they approved it. Yeah. I
Okay.
was,
I'll go ahead and look for a motion for adjournment.
We'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.